So if anyone's interested, I'm adding 1.5 cups of whole milk and a half cup of heavy cream. And in this case, I'm using Dairy Gold's cream because that shit is amazing. Additionally, I'm adding half a teaspoon of ground espresso, 2 teaspoons of powdered sugar, and then we stir and heat. It's looking like the espresso powder is not dissolving fully, but to be fair, I just ground up coffee bean and espresso grind. You want to heat over medium to medium low. Start to get bubbles around the edges, but you don't want to boil it. If you're wondering, because coffee is a wonderful flavor enhancer. And I'm just going to be waiting for everything. Essentially, I keep stirring because I don't want the milk and cream to scald to the bottom of the pan. And though you've been able to see it sometime on the camera, all of the steam, because everything is so dark for me, only now am I able to start actually seeing it not on the computer screen. I feel like I need music playing. And in case you're wondering, me picking up a metal-handled spatula after leaving it sitting on hot metal does in fact make it hot. However, thanks to my profession, I'm starting to lose feeling in my hands. Looks like it's not turning out as visible on the screen as I'd like, but the espresso seems to be dissolving slowly, but still nicely. I think we're about hot enough. Previously, I've chopped up about 8 ounces of 72% dark chocolate. Going to turn off the heat, add the chocolate in, and stir until well combined. We want all the chocolate pieces melted. One thing this drink is known for is how thick it is. And so on that note, the easiest way to thicken hot chocolate is either with more chocolate, or we can add a bit more heat to try and thicken it up. Most of the chocolate has dissolved, so now we will relight, drop the heat back down to about low, medium, and let some of the liquid evaporate and thicken the hot chocolate up. Though it looks light on the screen, this is a nice deep brown. For chocolate, you want at least 70% dark chocolate. I tried making some with 85% last night, and it was a different method. It was essentially chocolate and milk. And it was thick, but it wasn't quite what I was after. So we've added a couple different things, the addition of heavy cream, a bit of coffee to help enhance the chocolate, a little bit of powdered sugar to help sweeten things up a bit, because I, for one, have a sweet tooth. Future tests will include a dash of vanilla or possibly a quarter of a vanilla bean pod. As with any good hot chocolate as well. I would recommend making your own whipped cream, which is fairly easy to do. Stand mixer, if you've got one, not a hand mixer, will work. If you don't have one of those, a whisk can do it too, but it'll just take longer and your arm will be tired. Bit of heavy cream, very small amount of sugar. And if you're using a stand mixer, use the balloon whisk. I would start on medium, low to medium. And as it starts to thicken through aeration, turn up the speed. Kind of want to watch how things go so that way you don't over whip it. As you can see, there are some bubbles coming up. We don't want this to boil too much. But it is thickening up nicely to the point that I am happy. So we are going to cut heat. And at this point, let it cool for a moment. Bear in mind, this has been boiling, so it's pretty darn hot. If you do drink it, I recommend a small mug. And just be careful, please. Lots of whipped cream, as I said, if you've got it. If not, it'll be delicious with or without. If you've got a way to pour this, great. If in this case, I'm just going to use a ladle. Keep the whisk around because the ingredients sometimes do try and separate. In this case, as I mentioned, all of the coffee didn't quite dissolve, so I do expect to find some in here. I'm not sure if you can see, but it is not thick enough to stand a spoon up in, which is tradition from what I understand of this drink. But it is a nice, thick, rich chocolate. And I apologize for this part. As you can see, there are some grounds left, but hopefully it won't be too terrible. I just might have to grind it a bit finer next time. So, thank you for watching.